Well, it's a Dear Datta episode because I wanted to bring in a man's perspective on this challenging question. Hi there, Rachael-Jayne Groover here, and you're watching Awaken TV, and this is the place where you get your weekly practice on presence, purpose, and practical spirituality. And I brought my husband Datta in here, and I'm going to ask you this question that I hear a lot from women, and I know you hear a lot from women too on our travels, and that is, how do I stay in touch with my success and my brilliance without intimidating men? Because I seem like, you know, I'm up against this male ego that can't handle my success. So what do you have to say to that? I'd love you to give us maybe 3 tips that will help us to, stay in our power and have this connection with men that we really want to have.
Great question. And it is something that I do get asked a lot. And there's 3 tips that I want to leave you with today, right? But first, I want to mention that there can be some slight differences between somebody that you're in a relationship with, somebody that you're in a potential relationship with, or somebody that you're not necessarily in an intimate partnership with, but you're around. So
like you work with them.
Exactly. Okay. You're right, or they're a friend or whatever. So the first tip I want to give you, I think this is probably the most important one, is that men want to feel needed. They want to feel useful. They want to feel like they're doing something important. Not that just, oh yeah, cut the grass and I'll do the rest. They want to know that they are filling a significant purpose, not only in their life, in their direction, but in your life as a woman. So the trick is to find a way to actually engage them in your success.
Awesome tip, because so many women want to put themselves out as self-sufficient and I don't need a man, and that hurts relationship. What is your second tip?
The second tip is to not be in competition. And that's an easier said than done thing, because women sometimes enjoy competition. Competition is healthy, and men enjoy competition. But if the competition is around the success, that's where the trouble can start to happen. So you don't want it to be counting points, like, yes, I did this, I made this much, you made that much. And you know, one of the suggestions I have for couples especially is that you have joint bank accounts, rather than I'm making this much and you're making that much and you get to spend this, to not get so into counting that thing. And then to not make it like, hey, I did this, what did you do this week? And even if that's not said, it can be a subtle thing, and it can really negatively affect the polarity of the relationship and the relationship itself. So I'd strongly recommend you keep an eye out for that and don't let it happen.
And what is your third tip?
The third tip is something that I believe is universally applicable to both men and women, but specifically in regards to a woman and her success and how that can impact the relationship. It's about humility. And humility is not just like pretending to be humble, because I've really had it in my life with people who are pretending to be humble. You might have seen a few of those here and there yourself. So, and that's like, and they can come across as, or work in such a way, like, for example, to be surprised about the success you have. So, wow, you know, I went there and I spoke and they stood up and gave me a standing ovation. Or I actually got 5 signups and there's only 10 people in the room. I don't know how that happened. You know, just having that attitude rather than, yeah, you know what? I cleaned it up again. I just kicked ass. I did the, which is like, you know, that's okay.
Yep.
But that can create more of the strain on the relationship and the feeling. Again, okay, you mentioned the male ego. I didn't bring it up. You mentioned that male ego, and you don't want that to be the issue. So be surprised about your success.
And what I get to about the humility is it leads into compassion, right? So instead of women just being like, well, it's the male ego and we just need to like deal with it. But
or they need to deal with it.
They need to deal with it. It's compassion for what's coming up for that man, as you would want them to be compassionate for what's coming up in you. I love these tips. Well, now we'd love to hear from you. You have Datta. You can ask him any questions about the male gender or anything that we've talked about today. All the interaction happens over at Rachael-Jayne.com. So head on over there now and leave a comment below. And if you like this video, subscribe to this channel and share it with other people who are also on their path of personal and spiritual development. And if you want even more awesome resources from us that will help you awaken your impact, inspire change, and create wealth, head on over to Rachael-Jayne.com and sign up at the top of the page for email updates. And remember, however you're feeling, you're in a challenging relationship situation, you're feeling wonderful, or sad, angry, and having a down day, everything is temporary. So be as present as you can be and enjoy each moment as much as you possibly can. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week on Awaken TV.
Thanks.